Hey everybody, Matt here. I'm going to be bringing you a video today, and you'll have to forgive me. I'm going to be looking down here at my computer. I found an article yesterday that I had to make a video on. Let me just put it this way: if you're the type of person, obviously, as most of my subscribers are, who is a gun owner and who is a gun enthusiast, or it's your hobby, whatever, however you want to put it, gun nut, I don't care, and you also happen to be somebody who is concerned in any way, shape, or form. You don't even have to be concerned. I'm not necessarily concerned, but I care about the law when it comes to things like people being here illegally. I just do. I think, I live, where I live in Texas, I live in a border town, and I, along with everybody else that lives here, my wife included, who's Hispanic, we agree that you need to come here legally. That if you're illegal, you need to go back to Mexico, do it right, then you can come back. That's how it works. Okay, pretty simple. Obey the law. I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think that it should be this big racial bullshit that everybody's making it out to be. So if you're like me and you're a gun nut and you also respect the law, this article is really going to piss you the fuck off, just like it did me. Anyway, like I said, I came across this yesterday and I had to make a video. Let me just go over it. And by the way, I'll have the article posted down here in the description so you can read it yourself. But back in January, I think it was January 16th of this year, there was a gun show in North Austin. Now, some of you from Texas probably know about the Austin gun shows and stuff like that. But anyway, a guy by the name of, where's his name here? I just had it. Paul Copeland. Okay, he had a table there, and he was he had one table, and he was selling some ammunition and various things, whatever, in addition to having some guns. Now, these were private sales. This was his private collection, and from what I've read in other articles, he wasn't there wasn't that many guns. I think he had 3 or 4 guns total on the table. It wasn't like he was selling a ton of guns. Okay, most of what he was selling was other stuff, ammo cans and stuff like that. Anyway, he sold a gun to a man by the name of Herta. Let me see, Mr. Herta. It doesn't. I'm not finding his first name, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. He was there with his son and with another man by the name of Hippolito. Okay. He went to Mr. Copeland's table, bought a gun. It does not list what the gun was. He had a Texas driver's license. Okay, he spoke English, and he was dressed up. And it makes a point in here to point out that he was dressed like a cowboy. Okay, and that he was speaking Spanish to his friend and his son. But when he spoke to Mr. Copeland, he spoke English. Okay, well, right after he bought the gun, an undercover ATF agent followed Mr. Herta and saw him give his friend the gun. Okay, at some point they talked to them, blah blah blah, whatever. Come to find out that Mr. Herta was here illegally. Okay, and he had he had applied somehow with the Social Security number for a Texas driver's license. Apparently the Texas driver's license was real, but he used false documents to gain that license. Okay, so he had a valid Texas driver's license. Okay, and basically, to break this down, here's what happened. Mr. Copeland is going to jail for selling a gun to an illegal. Now, he had no way of knowing this guy was an illegal. Okay, the man had a valid Texas driver's license. Okay, he spoke English. We also live in Texas. We have a very large Hispanic population here. A lot of people dress like cowboys and speak Spanish. And there was no, basically it boils down to there was no way for him to know. Mr. Copeland, by the way, is a Vietnam veteran who had done this many, many times. it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. At one point, and here's where it goes even a step further. Okay, and it says here that let's see here. Let's see. I want to find this. I want to make sure it's in here correctly. But Mr. Huerta actually went. He was allowed to go to. Not only he bought the gun, right, back in January, but now it's in July. Okay, it's 6 months later, and Mr. Copeland is going to court over this whole issue. Mr. Huerta, the person who's here illegally, is still here and is called in to testify against Mr. Copeland as a witness for the prosecution. Not only that, but he is allowed to walk into court, admit he's here illegally, admit he used false documents to gain a driver's license, is allowed to testify against Mr. Copeland, and then walk out on his own accord and leave. Not once in the 6 months since this has been going on has this man been so much as asked where he lived, so much as talked to a border patrol or ICE agent. This man is here illegally, and not only that, but our government, the ATF, at a federal court is using a man here illegally against a citizen, okay, to convict a citizen. He is Mr. Copeland, a Vietnam veteran who sold a gun to somebody with a valid Texas driver's license, is now a felon, okay. Now I believe he is getting, I don't believe he's serving any jail time. I think he's on 24 months probation. I don't know exactly what the sentence is, but he's now a felon, and the ATF and the federal court system used an illegal against him to testify against him. And this person who was here illegally, not once has been harassed or anything in any way about them being here illegally. This dude, as soon as he bought the gun, should have been locked up, sent to an ICE detention facility until they could ship him back over to Mexico. Okay, this guy is a felon. Okay, he broke a federal law getting here. Then he purchased a gun, which is a federal offense. Okay, this guy is a felon. Okay, a two-time felon at least. You know, who knows what else he's done. I mean, maybe he hasn't done anything. Maybe he was really here just to have a better life. I don't know. But either way, he's a felon 2 times over now because he broke a federal law coming into the country, and he broke a federal law by buying a firearm while he was here illegally, while he was not a resident. But yet we're harassing a 56-year-old Vietnam veteran for selling him a gun when the guy admits he had a valid Texas driver's license. The court admits he had a valid Texas driver's license. And at one point, and I don't remember if it's this article or another one I read, the judge actually made the remark that because he spoke Spanish and was dressed like a cowboy, that Mr. Copeland should have assumed that he was here illegally and not sold him the gun. Okay, this is a federal judge. Okay, with the prosecution and the people pressing charges being the federal courts and the ATF, which is a federal entity. So the federal government is telling this man, a private citizen, that he should have, by the looks of this guy, known he was illegal and not sold him a gun. Yet in Arizona, the cops cannot ask somebody when they pull them over for ID proving they're here legally. But a private citizen has that responsibility. A private citizen, according to the federal government, should be able to do that. It's their responsibility. Not the cops. The cops, no, they don't have a responsibility. In fact, it's wrong for the cops to do it. But a private citizen making a private sale to a person who speaks English and has a Texas driver's license should have racially profiled this man so that and not sold him a gun, because now he's paying the price. He's now a felon because he didn't racially profile the guy. The federal judge said this shit to him. Is this not the most fucking ridiculous thing you've ever fucking heard? I saw this and I got so fucking pissed. And like I said, I've read a couple articles on this after I found it last night. And the one that gives the most information is going to be posted right down here. But it's just fucking unreal, man. I swear to God, it is the most retarded bullshit I have ever read in print. It's insane. I'd really like to see what y'all think about this kind of bullshit, because this is what our federal government is doing, okay? And I don't give a shit if you're a Democrat or Republican or independent or libertarian or whatever. This should bug the shit out of you, okay? That's fucking ridiculous. This has, you know, not only did this guy do nothing wrong and he's getting harassed on the gun side of things because he sold a gun to somebody he shouldn't have. And not only is there bullshit that this guy, an illegal alien, somebody who's here illegally, was being used to help convict a citizen when the person who was here illegally did more wrong and broke more federal laws than the citizen did. And the citizen didn't break any federal laws. There's nothing illegal about selling person to person unless you know that you're selling to somebody who cannot purchase. And he obviously didn't know, but they said he should have known. Why? Because he should have racially profiled this man. He should have said, oh, well, he's Hispanic, he's dressed like a cowboy, and I heard him speak Spanish to his friend and his son. Oh, he must be here illegally. A federal judge told this guy that. That's bullshit. This is what our fucking government on every fucking level has come to. This is ridiculous. So that's it. I'm gonna get out of here. I had to rant about that bullshit because it was fucking insane. For anybody who cares, and it'll be here in the article that I'm looking at. This article here is from the Peaceable Texans for Firearms Rights, and I've checked them out just briefly earlier today, and I don't know if this is an organization people can join, but it's at least worth checking out their website, and I think I'll post a link to their website on here too. It's like io.something.com or .org or something like that, but it's Peaceable Texans for Firearms Rights, and they're based out of Austin. Now, if you're outside of Texas, you probably don't give a crap about that, but you know, maybe it's worth checking out. So anyway, yeah, man, leave me your comments and let me know what you think. This is just fucking ridiculous. It really is. It's retarded. So I'm gonna get out of here before I go off and cuss anymore. So we'll see y'all later. Take it easy.